Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning, and I'm your host today for the Encounter program, Joe Sellepack. I'm the Executive Director at the Broome County Council of Churches. 75 years is how old the Council of Churches is, but one of the other interesting tidbits about this year is it's the 40th anniversary of CHOW. 40 years ago, CHOW started as a program of the Council of Churches, and it started off by by putting out about 30,000 pounds of food per year. Last year, we put out about 1.3 million pounds 40 years later. So this year, being our 40th anniversary, we began thinking a little bit about the future of our CHOW program at the council. And most of you are aware that CHOW stands for the Community Hunger Outreach Warehouse. And in many ways, CHOW is a community project. It requires lots of people coming together in order for us to do the work that we do at the Council of Churches. So let's talk a little bit about that whole idea of CHOW being a community program. Where are some of our partners in the community that we've worked with?
Well, our bounty program picks up food from all the Weiss markets in the area. We pick up from all the Price Choppers in Broome County now. 3 times a week we have a delivery or a shipment from Maine's. So pretty much the community is our partner. CHOW allows the community to help the community. We're a tool that the community can use to help itself.
And there's a lot of barrels out there too, right?
There sure are.
Where are those barrels at?
Those barrels are located at the local Weiss's in Binghamton and Broome County, as well as Walmart's, both in, I believe, Johnson City and Vestal. They're definitely a figure to be seen out there.
And they're in churches too, aren't they? There are a few churches that have CHOW barrels. And
yeah.
They collect almost monthly. Some of the congregations, right?
Yes, yeah, most of them actually. Also, any independent person that would want to have a food drive could give us a call, and we would deliver a CHOW barrel to them, and then we'd pick it up after it was full.
So what makes you an expert on CHOW?
So I'm the warehouse manager, programming manager at CHOW, also as well as donor relations. So my job is to kind of make sure all the logistics of all of our programs are working correctly, and our donors are happy.
And your name is Jack Seman.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You've been working at the council for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, I volunteered for about a year, and I'm going on working there for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Yep.
And our other guest today is Justin Gifford. Justin, what's your title at CHOW?
I am the CHOW Senior Warehouse Associate, aka Jack's right-hand man.
All right, so you help him out in the warehouse, huh?
Absolutely. Whatever needs to be done.
Whatever needs to be done. And so we know that we have a lot of partners in the community, and we have lots of food sourcing from like Willow Run and Maine's and Price Chopper and Weiss and other grocery stores. But we also have the meal sites and the pantry places. Like, how many of those do we have now?
So CHOW is kind of broken up into 2 programs. There's our pantry program and our bounty program. We have about 66 agencies in total, 33 pantries and 32 meal sites. So our bounty program is the meal sites. They come twice a week to pick up their orders, and they do community meals. We partner with residential places like the YWCA, YMCA, other places like that, SOS Shelter, and we provide them with kind of a supplement to help do what they do.
And we also have a pantry too, if I remember right, at the ME school.
Yes, yep, the ME Meals program.
ME Meals program. And so in these places, they're mostly run by volunteers, right?
Yeah, I'd say 95% of them are run by volunteers. We really couldn't do what we do without volunteers. Most of the things that we do is volunteer based.
Yeah. And what's it like in the warehouse when volunteers come to pick things up?
When they come to pick things up, it's kind of like a part of your family coming to, we develop relationships with these volunteers and these people that are linked to the community, and it brings a brightness to your day, honestly, because we're helping them, and in turn they're helping us. They don't normally realize it, but they're allowing us to do what we do by accepting our donations and the food we receive.
So really the 1.5 million pounds of food that we will be distributing this year kind of goes out through these 66 pantries. They're partners with us in how we distribute food. Now, what is going to be changing in this year as we're approaching our 40th anniversary of CHOW? There's some things that we've been thinking about as far as the future of CHOW is concerned. What's starting this year, and what does the next 40 years kind of look like?
So this year is going to be a really exciting year. We're continuing our CHOW bus markets. So what that is, it's the low-cost, no-cost produce market. So we go out into the community. There's new markets popping up every day, and we distribute food. You can go there, you can buy some food, donated produce that we receive, you can take for free. So really anyone that comes to the market isn't going to leave empty-handed. We also have our job training program starting hopefully either at the end of this month or the beginning of next. And in Broome County there's a gap. The need in Broome County is about 7 million pounds of food, and we with our partners, we were only able to distribute about 3.2 million pounds of food. So our idea here at CHOW is to try to shorten the line a little bit. Instead of combating it with more food, is to try to make the need less. So we're starting a job training program. So what that is participants will come to our warehouse and they'll learn skills needed to get a job above the poverty line. So they'll learn how to run a forklift, they'll learn inventory control, they'll learn how to interface with customers, volunteers, and all that. So hopefully they'll leave with experience that puts them in a better position to get a job that they can then support a family with.
So we're kind of looking at moving the needle on poverty, not just on hunger.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So how does that help us, do you think, as far as like the council? Like what is it helping us measure in some ways?
It kind of lets us know the people that we're serving, the people that our volunteers are serving, lets us know and understand their struggles so that we could better help them.
Now, the interesting thing about the council is that we've kind of almost always been involved in because we work with volunteers a lot. We have been involved in job training over and as you said, you volunteered for the council before you came on as our manager.
Definitely. So yeah, we work with the Department of Social Services. We work with people doing community service, people from Fairview Recovery Services. So a lot of people that are kind of just getting back on their feet, a lot of them start in the CHOW warehouse and they learn vital experience. So this is really just formalizing that experience and kind of making it a fixture in our program.
Justin, do you work with those people?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I, in my own personal experience, started as a volunteer just like Jack and learned, how the warehouse operated, and I sit here today, talking to you, basically.
So what's it like working at the council?
It's a good experience. It's very rewarding, the fact that we can help people put food on the table, and it kind of puts things into perspective. It reminds me of where I could be or, came from, and it allows me to really, appreciate the things in life that I took for granted. So.
Yeah, it's an important lesson for all of us. I remember when I was in seminary, one of the things that whenever I had an old car, and it was when I was in school, and I was already married. And my wife and I would, whenever the car would break down, she couldn't get to work. And so there were times when I was in seminary, when we would be visiting a food bank, because if you can't get to work, you can't put food on the table. And you live on that balance between on your resources, and so at times you have to go to food pantry and get food in order to put food on your table. And without that, I don't know that I would have been able to get through seminary. And so, I always remember those events because it kind of brings back to my memory, at least the fact that we all struggle on occasions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and we all have our personal stories and how we came to CHOW. But one of the great things that I see happening in the future is that that we're really getting more and more involved with real people, and we're not treating them just as a number, but as an actual face.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we have? I know some of the folks that are working in the warehouse. I mean, many of them come with some major problems that they've occurred through their life. But what are we hoping to do for those folks?
Hopefully, we just give them an experience that they leave the warehouse in a better place. We give them support. Just treat them with dignity. A lot of people that require our services, they're not always treated with dignity, and that's kind of what we try to do at CHOW. And I think we do a pretty good job is just treating people with dignity.
Because they can just get into like a bread line or something like that, and and there's really no dignity in that. Yeah. I've had people come up to me and just basically say, I see all the people going into whatever social service program that they're talking about, and they'll judge, they'll do all kinds of stuff, but when we treat them with dignity, we don't do that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the model we try to follow is, like I said, just treating people with dignity, just giving them a purpose, which I think goes a long way. I know when I was a volunteer, I was at a point in my life where, working and volunteering in the warehouse, it gave me a purpose, and I really wouldn't be where I am now without that experience. So if we could give that to other people, then I think it would really make Broome County a better place.
Now my guests are Jack Seman and Justin Gifford from our CHOW warehouse. Jack is our warehouse manager, and Justin is a senior assistant to the warehouse manager. So it's great to have you both on Encounter today. So we've been talking a little bit about what the last 40 years of CHOW look like, and all of our partners that we work with in the community, and all the food that we've been able to distribute with those partners. We're renovating the warehouse, right?
Yes.
That's one of the things. Another one of the parts of the 40th anniversary. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. So right now, our warehouse, in terms of warehouses, we don't have the biggest, but we're able to distribute the amount of food we do because of our ability to the turnover. We can bring it in and we can distribute it quickly. So what we're doing is we're kind of optimizing the layout of our warehouse. We're going to stop thinking in square feet and more think about cubic feet. So we're going to be taking all of our coolers and freezers out, and we're going to be getting a 50-foot by 20-foot cooler freezer combo, which will be all the way from the ground of the warehouse all the way up to the ceiling. So we'll be able to really use the height of our warehouse in terms of cooler and freezer space. That'll allow us to take advantage of deals that we when we have money to spend, we're able to spend it and leverage a dollar better than most people can due to the opportunities that we have. So we'll be able to take full advantage of the opportunities that are presented to us. We're going to be redoing our steel racking in our warehouse, so it's double reach capable, so we can store 2 pallets where 1 pallet used to be, and it'll really increase the capacity. Right now, the sorting system that we have is our shopping carts with labels on them. So what we wish to do is to kind of redo that system and make it a little more efficient. So hopefully near the end of this year, beginning of next year, the warehouse will be a completely different place, and we'll be able to put out a lot more food, fresh and healthy food as well.
Yeah. So currently, I mean, we do have refrigerators and freezers in the warehouse.
Yes, we do.
But they operate. How old are they? Do you know?
Oh man, I think they're probably about 12 to 15 years old. We have 3 walk-in coolers and 3 walk-in freezers. and they serve their purpose. We're grateful for them, but they're at times expensive to upkeep, and I think we would just do a lot better with a bigger.
Well, and the technology too is kind of antiquated too. It's like behind the times.
Definitely, you can't walk a pallet into it. So you get a pallet of frozen food, and you can't just forklift it into the freezer. You'd have to take it out, inspect it, and then put it in box by box into the freezer. So this is really